Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you guys how to cover up under eye circles and make yourself look more awake. Being a new mom, you don't get a lot of sleep, and every time I get up in the morning, I'm like, oh my god, I look awful. So if you guys want to see this look and how I made myself look more awake and hide those under eye circles, just go ahead and keep watching. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video on how to hide under eye circles. I am a new mom, if you don't know, and obviously I haven't been getting very good sleep lately because I'm taking care of a newborn. So I wanted to show you guys how to cover up your under eye circles and look awake when you don't feel like you slept at all. So today I'm actually going to do powder foundation too. It's a lot quicker to do powder foundation than it is to do liquid and powders and everything on top of it. So I'm going to show you guys kind of like a powder foundation routine and how to hide your under eye circles. If you want to hide your under eye circles, you definitely need to start with a good concealer. So I'm going to be using the Overachiever concealer today by Huda Beauty. I have the shade Cotton Candy, and it's lighter than my skin tone, so it kind of brightens your under eye. But first you want to prime. Even if you're doing powder foundation, you want to prime your skin. So I'm using the Tarte Poreless Primer. This is a mattifying primer, and it's like a pore filling primer. So if you've got pores, large pores like on your nose like I do, or like on your cheeks like this, it helps kind of fill them in, and then your skin looks a little bit smoother. So after you've primed, when you're doing powder foundation, you want to go in with all your creams first. So we're going to do the concealer next. Good thing about this Huda Beauty concealer is it has a metal tip on it. I've obviously used this a lot. It's not brand new or anything. And it actually, because it's metal, it has like a cooling sensation, and it kind of depuffs underneath your eye. You can squeeze a little bit out of your tube, and you don't want to be afraid to use a lot, or not a lot, but more than you think you would need, because that's what's going to give you the coverage. I'm going to look at my mirror here. So you just want to put it in like a triangle-ish shape underneath your eye. I've got it underneath both of my eyes. And now I'm going to blend it out with a concealer brush. You can use a beauty sponge if you like. I particularly don't really like a beauty sponge, at least for this. So I'm going to use this Jaclyn Hill JHOS. It's a little concealer brush. And you're just going to blend it from the bottom kind of into your skin. And you don't want to do circle, you kind of want to tap. And then tap underneath your eye and look up so you can get it really close up against your lash line there. And it's going to look a little funny because it is lighter than your skin tone, but that's okay because you want it to be brightened. You want your under eye to be bright. So there it is, all blended out. We're going to do the same thing on this side, and I'll be right back. Now you can take whatever's left on your concealer brush, and just, if you have some areas of redness, like my nose gets red and I have some redness like between my eyes, so you can use the excess on your brush just to kind of give you a little bit more coverage. Before we go in with our powder foundation, you want to set that concealer that you just put on. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder and this Jaclyn Hill JHOS brush. So you want to use a kind of domed brush like this for underneath your eye. It's perfect. So just, ooh, a little too much. Shake a little bit less powder than that in your cap. And then this has like a pinky tone to it, so it actually kind of helps brighten your under eye on its own. Tap off a little extra, and then you just want to tap underneath your eye where you put that concealer, and this keeps your concealer from creasing during the day. And I'm tapping it again and getting a little bit more powder for these extra areas that I put a little bit of concealer on. Now it's time for the powder foundation. So my favorite powder foundation, and I haven't tried that many, but I definitely haven't found like a drugstore one that I particularly like. So I'm using the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade C3.5. I am using the Sonia KASHUK flat top foundation brush. This is my favorite brush to use with this powder foundation. So you want to take your powder foundation and your brush, swirl it in there. And you can tap a little bit, but you don't have to because you're going to work this in. And then I like to buff it, and I start like on my cheek where I didn't put a lot of concealer or any concealer at all. And then I kind of lightly will put some of the powder foundation up underneath my eye, but I tend to keep it a little bit lighter underneath there because we already put concealer and powder there. And then I'll just go in till I'm satisfied with like how much coverage I get. This is something that you probably don't want to do if you're super oily. I do normally have really oily skin, but ever since I got pregnant and in this postpartum phase, my skin has not gotten oily, so it's a lot drier than it used to be. And I find that this powder foundation will last me like all day, like 12 hours, 10 hours, and it'll look good at the end of the day still. And I just do a little bit lighter on my nose and underneath my eyes. Just kind of tap it underneath there. You don't want to swirl because you already have that concealer down. Once you're satisfied with the coverage that you have from your powder foundation, you can go ahead and do the next step. I'm not going to show you guys like my bronzer and blush and all that. I'm just going to kind of show you other things I do to brighten my under eye and make myself look a little bit more awake. I will come back at the end with like my full face on to show you guys just like the finished look. I really like this KKW brightening powder. I have shade 2. And it's just, I've obviously used it a lot. I need a new one. But I take that same brush that I use to set my under eye concealer, and you want to get quite a bit of powder on there. Tap off a little bit of the extra, and same thing you did to set your under eye concealer, you're just going to put this underneath to help brighten. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. If you want to brighten any other areas of your face, you can do the same thing with this powder. So if you want to like do a little bit of brightening here, the top of my nose. I take this Tarte Shape Tape eye primer, and I'll put it on my eyes, and it has like a little bit of a tint to it. It's almost kind of like a concealer. You just rub that on. And after you've got that blended in, you can just take this brush. You don't have to get any more product on it because it's already got some powder on there, and you can just tap over that. If you want to just put some concealer or like foundation on your eye, I wouldn't do the powder foundation, but if you want to do while you're blending out your under eye concealer, just take a little bit extra and put it on your eyelids. You can do the same thing. You don't have to use eyeshadow primer. It brightens your eye up a little bit without you don't have to do anything else. Eyeliner, mascara on, and be done. And one more thing I like to do to brighten my under eye, just depends on how much time I have. I do have this Hourglass ambient lighting edit palette. It's one of their holiday specials. If you take I take this lightest powder right here, and it kind of has like a shimmer to it in a way. It has like enough of a glow to like really brighten your under eye. So I'm gonna take the same brush, tap it into that, and then brighten. So I'm gonna go off camera and finish the rest of my makeup. It's just something very simple, and then I'll come back and show you guys the finished look and give you just a couple more tips on how to look more awake. Okay, you guys, I am back with the finished look, and I just put on a little bit of blush, bronzer, highlighter, did my eyebrows, mascara, and eyeliner, and then I put a little bit of lip stuff on. I'm using the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in the shade Zuma. A couple more things you can do to look more awake. You can put mascara on. Obviously that's going to open up your eyes, which will in turn make you look more awake. A little bit of blush goes a long way. Just a little bit of like brightness to your cheeks makes you look alive. And if you put a little bit of lip stuff on, whether that's lip gloss, or this is the stuff I use. And this has nothing to do with looking awake, but you definitely want to set your makeup. Setting spray, some people don't think it's really necessary. It definitely will kind of melt all your products that you put on into your skin. So if you think your makeup looks good, then you use some setting spray, and maybe in like an hour everything kind of like comes together and it looks really nice. So you definitely want to use a setting spray. I do like the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This one is like $15 or $16, I believe, and it has a nice, really nice mister. So you just spray. That's it. You can fan your face if you want to kind of set it down. Another good setting spray to use is MAC Fix Plus. It does a good job of melting everything together and just making your makeup look that much better. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see more videos, just leave a comment below or hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one.